Howdy folks, monthly update for the month of February as we sit here currently 3rd of March as I record this video. Got a new package to open from my man Eoin, who has sent through a rugby shirt which I am positive I have never seen before. I know what it is, but I've never seen the thing. We've got some stats and thanks for you from the channel in the month that was, plus a bit of news. Handré Pollard heading back to South Africa and some Marvel jerseys coming, which my gut tells me is a few years too late, but we'll have a look through them and you guys can let me know. And then also a crop of big name retirements kind of already announced, which is going to leave something of a gap in terms of the rugby scene as we know it, but this is the kind of nature of the beast that as one guy retires, the next kind of star emerges. So that is just professional sports. Eoin has sent me this package all the way from Galway in Ireland. You can see I'm already wearing the Connacht jersey, and that's not what's in here. This jersey is what's in here. I don't know what colours it's going to be. It's a Canterbury jersey, which is always a good brand. Been doing the Irish national team for a wee while. Dunmore RFC. This is my man Eoin's local club rugby jersey. I'm surprised you guys get Canterbury to make your local club jersey. That's pretty sweet. Got the old coat of arms, which looks to be a tree, a cross, a castle, and something else which I can't recognise, but I'm not much of a crest guy, but it's pretty sweet. I generally do prefer the clubs which have got their old logos rather than the kind of modern fandangled ones. But man, I am pretty sure, Eoin, that I'm going to be the only guy in my neck of the woods rocking this jersey. I look forward to wearing that one with a bit of pride. So cheers, man, very much. Thank you for sending that through. That means a lot, and it will assume its pride of place with the others. Some stats and some thanks, guys. It has been a busy month in February, particularly with the Six Nations really into full swing. We're 3 rounds into that competition. Super Rugby's gotten underway, and we've had the other rugby club competitions still trucking along in the meantime. Six Nations content has been kind of driving engagement for this channel, which kind of makes sense if you're looking at the main geographies. Ireland is number 1 for the month of February, followed by the UK, South Africa, France, and Australia. New Zealand not even in the top 5 at the moment. Hopefully, once we get some more Super Rugby action going, the Kiwis can get back into rugby. It is still summer here at the moment, so it's not exactly rugby season just yet, but hey, Super Rugby's had a cracking start, so hopefully getting some people on board. We even had, I love to look at the cities where people are viewing from, 629 views from a town called Letterkenny, which is also in Ireland. I love looking up places that I have never heard of, so Letterkenny is certainly one of those. If you guys have been there, what's it like? What's there to see and do in Letterkenny? 92% dudes for the month of February, which is pretty normal. Age ranges are pretty evenly split between the young'uns and the old'uns, but good to have you guys all along, no matter what country, age, gender you're from. And devices, this is a new one for me. 53% of people watch on a mobile phone. And second behind mobile phone, I would have thought would have been a computer? No, TV. People watching on a TV. I might have to start filming in a higher resolution if I'm going to be on a TV, because I'm still filming in 1080p. Other channels, YouTube says, your viewers also watch these channels. There are a bunch of the kind of big ones, the Six Nations channel, the Super Rugby channel. But in terms of kind of independent rugby creators, there's the Egg Chasers show with Tim, always a good one. There's the For Love of Rugby with the kind of two, was it Ben Youngs and Dan Cole. Plus they've had Squidge on a few times, Rugby Analyst as well. Rich still cracking along. So yeah, some good rugby content. Those are all kind of Northern Hemisphere channels, which again kind of makes sense given the time of the year. Quick thanks to the patrons. I'll scroll their names here. These are the people who help support this channel and keep it going, especially during the quiet months, of which there are a few. But yeah, all to the patrons, thank you guys so much for supporting the channel. If you want to join this illustrious group of people, there'll be a link down in the description to Patreon. Special thanks to Angus and to Jack McHugh. Your guys' continued support means the world. But yeah, even if you're not on the Patreon, thanks for being here, for subscribing, for liking, watching, all that jazz. It helps. And I just love getting into the comments. You guys know me. There's a heap of good banter going on there, and good insights and whatnot too. Some of the rugby news stuff. Pollard, Handré Pollard, having been abroad for a few years now, is heading back to South Africa on what is apparently a massive money deal. He's going to be paid, I think they said, basically one of the biggest contracts in South African rugby history. He's getting funding from kind of multiple sources. It's not just the Bulls who are footing the bill for his contract, but yeah, he's going to be back in South Africa. I do love seeing the big gun guys back in South Africa. There's something special about seeing the local guys playing in the local competition. It also seems like a hell of a bill as well. You kind of got to wonder what they could do with that money if it was invested into other areas. So it's a bit of a kind of catch-22. There's no perfect way, but my initial reaction to this news was, hoorah, good to see Handré Pollard back for the Bulls. I remember seeing him play in a quarter-final for the Bulls down in Wellington a few years ago, back when the Bulls were still in Super Rugby. Got to see the man himself, got to see Portageman kind of come up the stands next to me, because the coaches have to kind of walk through the stands in that stadium to get to their little boxes. But yeah, good to see him back in South Africa. So he's still young enough to have a few good years left. You know, he's only 30. He's already achieved a lot in his career, but he'll be back doing it with the Bulls for at least a wee while. So that is a bit of good news for the Bulls. If you're a Bulls fan, let me know what your thoughts are on that. Are you pretty chuffed? That's my initial impression, or would you have rather seen the money allocated to other areas? Marvel jerseys. Yeah, this one caught me a little bit by surprise. Super Rugby's going to do Marvel jerseys for the New Zealand teams this year. So they've apparently decided not to choose them just by the colours. So they've got inspiration from what the kind of characters mean for each club, rather than just basing it on your yellow, be Wolverine kind of thing. So you've got the Blues, who are Spider-Man, who's more red than blue, but that's what the Blues have got. You've got the Chiefs, who are Black Panther, which I think that jersey looks pretty slick. You've got the Hurricanes, who are Captain America, which is way off brand, but as I said, they decided not to go with Wolverine. I guess they're going for more of an Avengers thing than a Wolverine thing, but Wolverine would have been the obvious choice if you're going for a yellow kit. The Crusaders are going for Iron Man, and the Hurricanes are going for the Hulk. Their promo shot doesn't look that good, but there's another shot where you can see kind of like the Hulk abs bursting out from a Highlanders jersey. So yeah, I say it's an unusual one because it feels about 5 years too late, just in terms of like Marvel peaked back when the South African teams did the Marvel jerseys a few years ago. Like, you remember, like, the Bulls were Captain America and the Sharks were Black Panther and whatnot. So, yeah, they kind of got in at the peak of Marvel hype. That peak is long past. Like, maybe your kids are different, but my kids don't come home talking about Marvel characters. They're more likely to talk about, like, Fortnite or Minecraft or even bloody Pokemon compared to Marvel at the moment. But hey, that's a sample size of 2 children, and that is the market for this. You've got to remember, the marketing for the Marvel stuff is the kiddies, and it's kind of to go in hand to hand with the kind of kids round, which is going to be, I think, in round 5. So yeah, Marvel jerseys. What do you guys reckon? Wolverine for the Hurricanes seems to be the obvious miss for me, but as I said, seems like they're going with more of an Avengers theme. And a spate of retirements. It's been big news this week. You've had Stephen Kitsoff, who sadly has had his career ended a few years early through injury, but the guy apparently came pretty close to having more than just a serious injury. He could have had his life endangered with the injury he suffered a while ago now. So fingers crossed, or like whatever, that he's good to go. He's retired and he's going to be able to, with a bit of limited neck movement, see out the rest of his days in as good health as he can. He's an absolute legend of the game. The Spicy Plum had a hell of a career. Certainly one of my favourite South African players of all time, just because he was a hell of a scrummager and so good over the ball as well. So Stephen Kitsoff, have you seen that video where for the Stormers where he kicks that long range goal? It is the cheesiest thing you'll ever see. But go and check that out. It is it's the bad marketing so bad that it's good. But yeah, the Spicy Plum has retired. And then the Irish squad had 3 announcements of upcoming retirements of Peter O'Mahony, Cian Healy, and Conor Murray. Not so much injury enforced, but I guess just father time, because O'Mahony and Murray are both 35 and Cian Healy's 37. All absolutely long-time servants of Irish rugby, proper legends of the Irish game, all 3 of them. Cian Healy is literally the record holding Irish capped player of all time, so that is a hell of an achievement from him. And Peter O'Mahony is, I don't know, he's everyone's kind of favourite, and just that he's such a grumpy old dude, but he's got some great cutting one-liners, and the dude loves gardening. He's like a proper personality of the game. Not that you would know it, like with his press conferences or post-match interviews or whatever, where he's just generally pretty grumpy, but I don't know, everyone kind of loves, or maybe loves to hate at times, Peter O'Mahony. What a proper character. And then Conor Murray, at his peak, was certainly, I think, the best number 9 in the world. So it's going to be, as I said, a different landscape to see those guys all out of the game. But yeah, it'll be opportunities for other guys to get exposure. That's just kind of how she goes. But yeah, thank you guys for being here for the month of February. We look forward to the conclusion of the Six Nations in March. URC tracks on to its conclusion. Likewise, the Premiership, Top 14, the Japanese League still going, and Super Rugby's really only just getting started. But if you haven't been watching it, the games have been phenomenal. So get behind my Blues. They're apparently going to be Spider-Man. So there you go. Subscribe to the channel. I would love it. Take care of yourselves. Thanks for being here, and talk to you guys again soon. See you later.